So the first wave is about to set in. We do not really have much going in terms of offense, except for those four spike weeds, two of which we have upgraded to spike rocks, and then of course we have our cattails. The spike rocks are definitely playing their part there. You can see most of the zombies are getting half their health taken away just by stamping on those spike rocks. So we'll just plant a few repeaters right behind those tall nuts, at least on land, just to be safe. The cattails and the spike rocks should be enough to take care of things, but just in case. But I'll upgrade that last spike weed before I do anything. With all spike weeds upgraded to spike rocks, now we can look at taking care of the other plants. So here comes our first vehicle, and the spike rock takes care of it. So the spike rock can last for 9 of those uh, vehicles. So the spike weed is one use only. It can damage zombies, but once any vehicle gets on it, it's done for. But the spike rocks can withstand 9 of those vehicles before it gets destroyed. And not only that, so the other useful thing is it is especially useful against gargantors, because the gargantors can destroy any plant within one hit, but the spike rocks can take 9 blows from the gargantors. So it's particularly useful if you want to slow those big moving things down. So, ooh, where did my game go? Okay, I think the placement of this icon is wrong. Oh, whole lot of zombies, but not very tough ones. So it isn't very difficult. Hmm. Let's plant a few more spike weeds and spike rocks. They should do some additional damage. The waters are safely patrolled by our cattails, so I do not have any worries there. Not that the land is in any danger, because the cattails can attack in all directions, but yeah, planting a few more spike weeds to destroy the zombies faster does not, you know, is not any kind of mistake. It is quite useful. So let's just keep it up. So planting more of the spike beads does not hurt anybody, well, except the zombies, of course, but that's the goal. So the final wave is upon us. So the zombies are never going to make it past the spike rocks, looks like it. And we do have some in the water. Let's jalapeno them to the next millennium. Okay, so the bag of coins is here. Okay, so we are at level 7 now. Let's play. Okay, so we have the diving zombies this time. Bucket heads are making a return. And of course, the zomboni vehicles. And let's see what Crazy Dave has managed to give us this time from his shop of Crazy. Okay, so jalapenos again, repeaters again, and the torchwood. So we did not take the torchwood last time. So this time we'll go with the Gatling gun and the torchwood for extremely powerful damage. Let's take our regulars, sunflower, the twin sunflower. Mm, okay. So cattails, of course. Ooh, where are my cattails? Yeah. And we don't really need these spike weed, considering the repeater should, along with the Gatling gun and the torchwood, should manage to do enough damage with fire piece. So let's just take the pumpkins. The pumpkin should be able to, you know, keep the plants inside unharmed. So let's go with that. Ooh, 4 waves. This is going to be a long match. So we need at least 50 more sun, 25 now. So we can plant a cattail, or should I just plant a repeater? Nope, just go with the cattail because then we'll have to get plants in time for the other zombie who is creeping up in the last lane. Okay, so the cone head is here. Let's try and get another cattail in place. Wow, diamond. That should solve all our money problems in the game. So it's worth 1,000 coins, the diamond. So it's a good thing we got it. We are short on coin now. Though we bought all the gardens now and all the plants, we still need money to access the after game content like the puzzles and the mini games. So we need to unlock those from Crazy Dave's shop, and we need coin for that. So repeaters in all land lanes, and then we can go for the torchwoods and the Gatling P later. So the first wave is here. It shouldn't be very difficult. So the torchwood should take effect immediately, significantly increasing the damage. Okay, there's a diving zombie there. Let's just plant something to get him out of the water. Okay, it did not work though. Let's plant something else. So that should get him out of his hiding. And our cattails do not miss a visible opponent. Okay, there's one more there. They can't attack him while he's underwater, but once he's out, he's cannon fodder for us. I also need to start planting Gatling peas there to make them significantly more powerful. But we also need to ensure that we are not in problem under the water, because those diving zombies can be a bit of a problem if you leave them unchecked. Our first Gatling P comes on. Though the bucket head is in another lane, it would have been useful if he was going up against the bucket head. But we have 4 waves to make that right. So the next wave is approaching. Certainly looks like it. We'll try and plant a few pumpkins on our torchwoods. We may see some of the vehicles approaching soon because they were definitely teased at the beginning. So probably after the third level we may see some of them. Ooh, the diving zombie is almost here. Even I missed watching it. The Gatling P along with the Torchwood is causing crazy destruction. Okay, so the first Zombone is here and it goes right up against a Gatling P powered by a Torchwood. And I think that's about as effective as the spike would have been, because it did not even manage to cross the first tile before it was exploded. We really need to plant some of those lily pads and pumpkins in the water, because I can see that the divers are causing some problems. Maybe we could even try planting a few of those repeaters in the water. Let's try that. I think that could be useful. And then protect them with pumpkins. Okay, but the diver went into an opposite direction altogether. But luckily our plant survived. So I'll also try to turn these into Gatling P. So with the pumpkin there, the diving zombie does not worry me as much, because by the time it rears its head up to eat the pumpkin, our other plants are taking care of it. Okay, so there comes some zomboni and some more vehicles. So there are a lot of vehicles in this level. The fourth wave is approaching, so now we should see more of those vehicles popping up. Okay, so now since they already have an icy trail, the vehicles are getting a bit more ahead than normally would have, but they are not getting very far. They aren't getting very far, so I'm not that worried. The final wave is here and our last Gatling piece planted right on time. So let's use that jalapeno to blow that last zombie off. And we are done. And the bag of coins is ours. Okay, level 8, and let's go for it. From the picture preview, you can see the dolphin zombies here, so we'll need tall nuts to defend against it. Okay, so we already get a tall nut, so that isn't a problem anymore. Okay, what else? We get a squash and a normal regular pea shooter. Okay, so the zombie enemies in themselves are not very difficult. The regulars and the cone heads, nothing out of the ordinary. So it's mainly the water that we need to be concerned about, where we'll see dolphin zombies leaping right through places where there are no tall nuts planted. So that's where we'll have to concentrate more this time. So I won't really be using much of the pea shooters. They are basically useless at this stage of the game. So instead we'll go with our more trusted and more powerful plants. So the cattail is back into play. Um, let's see, we do not have much remaining. So since we need some power in the water, let's take the tangle kelp, because that guy is going to be quite useful. What else should we take? The chomper maybe. Yeah, let's try the chomper. We haven't used the chomper from quite some time. Let's try the chomper. So our main offense would be in the water. We'll try to plant a few chompers on land, just in case any of the zombies get too near. Okay, so 3 waves. We are back to 3 waves. It's not 4 waves like the last game. But we need to start building things up in the water. Otherwise, the game is going to become significantly difficult once the dolphin zombies start showing up. Okay, we really need sun. That too soon. Oh boy. Sun production was extremely slow this time for some reason. But never mind, but we did lose a sunflower. Maybe I should have gone with a pea shooter since we got it anyways. But I don't think the loss of one sunflower is much to fret about. If we had lost the lawnmower this early, then I really would have been worried. But a sunflower which itself costs 50 sun is no big deal. Let's plant a cattail, and let's try to plant a tall nut right up there. Tangle kelp on the other side. So the first wave should be hitting anytime. Try to bolster things in the water. Okay, so we got under tall nut, and the tangle kelp should be right there. So we'll plant a few squashes. So I don't think any of the zombies are going to make it very far, at least on land, but let's go with, so the first dolphin zombie shows up and the tangle kelp should take care of it. So another one shows up and we have a tangle kelp there as well. Okay, so the tangle kelps are disappearing fast along with the zombies, but since the tall nut is right there, we should be able to keep it up even without the need of tangle kelps. But the dolphin zombies are extremely fast, so it would be easier if we have tangle kelps in place to stop them. Okay, so I think we should start planting few more plants because we have amassed quite a bit of sun. So let's get the chompers in place. Okay, so the dolphin zombie loses his head and a gold coin pops out of it. Should really consider planting a few chompers right behind those tall nuts in the water as well. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? So the second wave is almost here. Have one tall nut still remaining. And we have squashers everywhere. So we have 7 twin sunflowers in place, so sun production should not be any problem. Okay, so we need a tangle kelp there because the chomper is still having his dinner. So there goes another zombie right into the chomper's belly. I think we can make some room for the cattail here because we planted a chomper in front. And do the same at the other side as well. So it's not very difficult to win this game from here. I think it's in the bag. Shouldn't really have any kind of problems here. Let's just get rid of the chomper. He isn't doing much anyway. We can leave him to digest his food back in the garden. Some more chocolate for Stinky. The developers apparently love Stinky because they're leaving quite a lot of goodies for him. Okay, so the final wave is here. Okay, so we got even more chocolate in the same level. So that was what I was speaking about. Okay, so there is a whole bunch of zombies there, but they're as good as done. Okay, so we need a chomper who can actually eat there, but yeah, it's over. So Crazy Dave chooses the totally wrong time to give us his worst collection of plants. No, we are in the 9th level of pool now, and we are facing an army of sleds, bucketheads, vaulting zombies, and dolphin zombies. And Crazy Dave gives us a coffee bean a marigold and torchwood. Not very nice, Crazy Dave, not very nice. Anyways, let's try to use those other 6 slots and try to make something out of it. So the sunflower is here, okay, and the cattail, and we obviously need the tall nut, and let's go with the spikeweed this time. Because the repeater, even with the torchwood, shouldn't be as powerful or strong enough to stop those sleds. Or maybe, just maybe, let's try the three-peater. We haven't used it much since we already have the torchwood. Let's try to use that three-peater to do some damage. Okay, 4 waves again. So these 4 waves are going to be tough because, as we saw, quite a lot of difficult zombies to face up against. So our first cattail comes in. This time the zombie is quite far enough to be defeated. Let's try to keep our sun production in place because we are really going to need it this level. Another cattail is going to be important here. Because we can plant a lot of three-peaters considering that we will have enough sun. So let's just try and plant at least 2 rows of three-peaters supported by the torchwood and defended by the tall nut. Okay, so here comes the vaulting zombie. The tall nut should be able to stop it. So the vaulting zombies are not really much of a concern. The bigger concern would be the vehicles, which will cause decent damage if not checked. So we really need firewood powered three-peaters fast, sooner rather than later. We have 4 waves, so it shouldn't be very difficult initially, but it will get difficult quite soon. Right now, I'm definitely more concerned about getting the defenses ready than actually getting any of the three Peters. But I'll have to look into it at least before the next wave sets in. So we'll start planting three Peters now, just so that we are not overwhelmed. So the vaulting zombie stopped successful in its track. Okay, so the dolphin zombie comes in, but we do not have anything to defend in that particular lane. But the cattails shouldn't face much of a problem against a single dolphin zombie, and of course the three Peter is there shooting in three lanes. Now we can build on the torchwoods to provide extra damage. Of course it will be far more effective if we can get them in all lanes, and also the three Peters in all lanes. While it isn't really necessary to get three Peters in all lanes, but certainly is not very, wrong. Okay, so we lost a tall nut there, which we replaced. So having that three Peter in all lanes will increase the power. Of course, it shoots only two piece when it's in the corner lanes, but it doesn't really matter because even two lanes is better than just having them empty there. So I think we are going to see a lot more vehicles now, considering that the first one already was here, but they don't seem to be part of this wave, which is lucky for us. So we have torchwoods now. Every part. So I think we need to start planning for another repeater there. Okay, we lost a tall nut. We can replace that. That isn't much of an issue. So now they've really started bringing in the vehicles. We'll see a lot of them over the next two waves. And those bobsleds travel right behind them. Luckily, we are managing the cooldowns of the tall nuts almost immediately, so it doesn't become much of a problem. So I think we should start planting a few repeaters in the water as well to give that extra firepower to those middle lanes. Ooh, oh no, no, that was not very good. So third wave is almost upon us. So those cattails in front are basically cannon fodder. They don't really have much in terms of defense, but I think they can hold their own. At least if it's just the dolphin zombies which make it through. Wow. So the icy trail makes the bobsleds even faster because they managed to take care of not only our torchwood but also our tall nut, and we cannot really plant anything there right now because of the icy trail, but we really need to start thinking about planting more three peters in the corners now because the power by the middle three peters is not really enough. Okay, can we plant a tall nut there now? Yes, the icy trail disappeared right on time, so planting that tall nut wasn't very difficult now. Oops. Okay, that big final wave is approaching now. So I don't think it should be much of a problem from here on. Okay, our three peters are causing enough destruction. So okay, they sent just the one vehicle, not very strong attack. Okay, so we are almost at the end of the pool levels because you can see the note signifies that we are at level 10, which will be under conveyor belt level. So let's see what the note says. Okay, so again in absolutely terrible English, we say, "Hello, we heard you are having a pool party. We think that is fun. Well, be right over. Sincerely, zombies." I think the guy who writes this particular notes is much more terrible than the other levels because they seem to have quite a better spelling. So this one is really terrible. Let's move on to the next level. Let's see how the conveyor belt level goes. The conveyor belt levels are generally easier because there is no need of producing sun. We just need to time and match the plants right. Okay, so an entire army of assorted zombies of all shapes and sizes. And the familiar music hits. So tangle kelps right there. Some spike weeds right in front. Let's squash this guy. I'm going to hold on to the jalapeno as of now. Okay, so our 3 liter shows up right on time. We should be able to hold off those cone heads with it. We'll hold on to any explosive jalapenos for now. It doesn't really make sense to use them this early.